Wait. I better be live. Wait. Yay! Oh my god. Wait. I'm so sorry. Oh my god. Baby booze. Okay, well, here's the thing. I do not know why, but I've been having horrible Wi-Fi issues at my at where I am right now, and wow, I fixed it though. I mean, I think I fixed it. Right now it's good. I'm on a wholly different computer and yeah, I reset the whole system. And I don't know if you guys are like, software nerds or internet peeps, but I'll tell you that of my router and the Wi-Fi thing, and there's the router and there's the modem and the WAN light is just red, honey. It's a red light on the WAN network, WAN. So again, thank you so much for your patience. It's 1:15. How are you? What's been happening? It's obviously nice to see your faces. Happy Tuesday, September 12th. Obviously yesterday was September 11th. And a very tragic, horrible day in American history. And God bless everyone that the horror and the trauma levels that people experience being in New York and being close to there and having family members and that died. It's so sad, of course. And I really kind of like sat in that watching the CBS thing I watched Sunday night and just let myself really like take in some of the sensory things that I think I have either not thought about in like a couple of years or in 10 years, like the bodies like hitting the tin roofs that the firefighters are hearing in real time and watching their faces react and then have to just keep moving. It's just, whew, honeys. Anyway, but okay. Let's see what you guys are saying. Maybe not you. We had probably recent updates from my experience. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just got a new computer. So I'm hopeful. Maybe it was. Listen, that whole time I was on my 2011 MacBook Air, and yeah, maybe it's the computer. I don't know. But so we'll see. But I really like wore that one to the ground, honey. I was Gino with my, I Ginoed this MacBook Air from 2011. You know what I'm saying? Honey, I wore it to the ground. Jasmine like would look at me and blink, blink, judge. So, obviously, wherever you are, I hope you are like, enjoying the change of the season. I'm not at my best right now because of the fact that I had to move and, everything. So like, who knows what I look like? And there's no really light on me, but I'm happy to like just see here and talk about 90-day stuff with you. Obviously, Last Resort, three, I've now watched 1 through 4 and they have, if you want to see like absolute, like if you want to go recap by recap of the Love and Last Resort, they are only on Patreon for docu-sweeties because they're really short sometimes. So it's like a really short, sometimes it's like 20 minutes. And we also are really lazy about getting them out. I mean, because as you know, Toe and Before the 90 Days are happening. So, but those, of course, if you want, episodic recap by episodic recap of all of the last episodes of the season's Toe and Before the 90 Days, they definitely exist on the docu-sweeties, free feed. You can listen to them while I break them down. But we could just talk about the entirety of our lives and the 90-day universe in some time together. Okay, let's get in. Finally, Charlene's connected. I'm so happy to see, obviously, everyone. Charlene, Mickey, Lisa. Oh my God, Rams are damaged today. Just like, God bless. All of my besties. All of my besties. And I'm sorry again that I was just like so late. I just cannot believe my internet thing. It's like Mercury in retrograde. So Jasmine's in the USA. So yes, on Reddit, on Reddit, they had put a picture of that. And then I posted it, I think, in like the docu-sweeties, like Facebook group, or maybe I posted in Vanity Fair, or maybe I posted in both. But That I know, I mean, like, it's a blurry photo. I don't know what she looks like. I don't did she just get temporary fillers in her jaw that made it, like, a little square, and then now it's back down? She looks so different in that picture. Like, I almost feel like it doesn't look like her, you know? Like, maybe on the thing, I was like, "Is this some version of, like, Jasmine's, like, younger face and Larissa's first face?" It feels that I mean, I don't know. Um, yeah. I know. Yeah. Not to jump all over the place, but going back to 9/11 stuff, 'cause I'm obviously watching and reading what you guys are saying back. My dad handles people's money for a living, and one of his clients, who's no longer with us, is this really amazing screenwriter. His name is David Swift. David Swift, like, wrote the original Parent Trap, like the original Pollyanna, you know? And he was still alive, it was like 2011 when that happened. I think that my dad was telling the story, like, either he was at David Swift's office or David Swift's at his office, and they're watching it happen, and David Swift, Mr. Swift, is like, "Holy shit, this is World War III." Like, the he thought he was watching the beginning of World War III. Anyway, anyway, so here we are. We're gonna, but yes, I love you guys so much. I'm here. You do the Lord's work for me. I know I don't understand. I really don't. I actually don't quite understand facial surgery and, like, fillers, because, right, sometimes people look crazy and then sometimes they get it dissolved, or sometimes it settles. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes you look better, like, but sometimes it's just all filters. And, like, what does Kylie Jenner look like? Like, I have no idea. I don't understand it. Like, I don't. I mean, it feels like it's a video game simulation. Anyway, so yeah, the final 9/11, I know I'm going all over the place. Did I have too much coffee? The final 11 thing is 9/11 thing is that I was in college at the time. And my college is right by LAX, is LMU. My college is called LMU, or Loyola Marymount University. It's really close to LAX. And so my dad was, like, really scared, I think, for that. And I talked about him. I was like, "You were really scared, right? Because I'm by LAX." And then he was like, "Actually, also the Century Towers, they looked like World Trade Center." And I was like, "Oh." We could talk about how Razvan looked on the Croatian beach. Poli Sci, I always knew world would be a war with terrorist theory for years. Woohoo! I mean, horrible. I mean, but yeah, theories are, wow. Yeah, 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 yeah. Lisa, I think political science is so interesting. I think history is so interesting. I think history is so interesting. I think stories are so interesting. And so I think political science, even though I've never taken a class, if it's an understanding of how story and narrative happen, and how framing happens, and how history happens, and then, I mean, yeah. I mean, I would really get into it. Okay, so yeah, it is. So in the world of 90 Day, obviously, I care more about Toe and Before the 90 Days than I care about Last Resort, which is so interesting because Last Resort has been getting really great reviews. But I don't care about it. Like, I think it's boring. Like, the best parts of it are, like, Asuelu and Kalani. Like, I definitely don't need Ed and Angela. I don't need Molly and Kelly, because, like, and Yara and Jovi, like, are fine. Like, I am okay with Yara's outfits, like, seeing a little fashion show, because it's better than what Angela and Molly are gonna give me. But, like, I mean, it feels like a whole show for Asuelu and Kalani. Anyway, so hi. Oh, I stopped watching after episode 2. Sheila and David are cute, but I don't need to hear about their sex life. Yeah, Shay, you don't have to hear about their sex life, but what if I just I'm gonna make a wheel of this. Yeah, I mean this happening a lot, like, like it's interesting. One thing that I like about David and Sheila is a really different understanding of nonverbal communication and what can be said, and how fast you learn certain things like finger spelling. And like, yeah, like I love the fact that your name can be what it can be. You can kind of make up your name in your way, like using the first sound or whatever. Like obviously my name is Chris. That's a C. Like no one's ever given me like a sign language name. And I don't want to be like, I mean, I've been like, like, hi, my name is, no, hi, my name, no, I don't know. Anyway, CHRIS. I'd have to be like, C, and then like, what would that be? What would that look like? Like, I'd have to be like, she's funny. She talks a lot. No, I'm Chris. No, I'm Chris. Like, what do you, it's so funny. I like it. So anyways, yeah. So basically his version of telling us that they had sex, honey, in all the ways. And we've already been knowing that his penis is too big for her. So like, we know, listen, if there are some gents here, God bless, feels like maybe there's some ladies. We've been knowing that, if you're in a situation where you are, there's a big person that you are trying to have over, and you want to accommodate for the big person, there are certain sofas that are easier for the big person to sit on than other small chairs. And so this is horrible, but like, yeah, like women on top is supposed to be the best for trying to like maneuver yourself on like a big dick, because like she can kind of like control that, right? So when he went through all the positions, I kind of wanted to be like, oh, is it just also, but like, how about just like, like her just like doing what she wants to do, kind of just like making sure that her thighs, like are doing some of the Lord's work. You know what I'm saying? Hello. Hello. Marie is this person. Marie, I know this. Fee had like a. What was your first? I don't know. Obviously, Quasi is Mickey, but what Marie? You had like Marie? Yeah, you used to talk to us like in a different thing. I don't want to give it away because maybe it was your last name, and that's why, right? That's why I knew. But I don't know. God bless. It was a long time ago, though. Any men in here? I mean, my Chris isn't here. My Sir Anthony isn't here. I mean, when they come and watch this later, they're going to be like, look at this classless lady talking about how we're supposed to like, take in big D's. I have this problem where like, and this is why it's funny that I'm on the internet, is because like right now I forget that like this might exist for other times and people can see me do this in the future. You know what I'm saying? Like it does feel like I'm just FaceTiming my friends right now, just on my bed, with absolutely no lighting and my hair wet, and I have no pants on. So, but then I have to remember that like, no, for some reason I'm just deciding to like put this out on the internet. Like if I'll never have any consequence. Anyway, I laughed when Ed talked about being a circus performer. He wasn't talking about his past life. Yeah, he's like, I'm on a circus. Ed very much feels that he like has acquiesced to a certain like parody over the top character in order to like make as much money as possible, being given the situation and circumstances that he has been. So anyway, okay, so don't care about, okay, so I know I'm all over the place. The last thing I'll say about Last Resort, which is the only good other part besides the Asuelu situation was this sex conversation. Now, again, I can do completely without Ed. I mean, like the fact that he would like start off that with like a dumb joke, like they had a sex conversation, like they had like this really sex positive, lovely lady, and then like and like maybe question like where do babies come from? Like kill yourself, but not really kill yourself. But come on, it's just come on. Like we're adults here, and we're just like you're taking time out of our lives, like I'll never get those 3 seconds back of you thinking that like you're gonna say some joke that billions of people haven't said. Billions of people, like, like, listen, there's all the hacky things that we know. It's like, that's what she said or stuff. But sometimes it's just so LOL when someone genuinely, and you have to tell the difference, wants attention by any means possible and hack material is at his disposal, so he will offer it up with no tinge of sarcasm or irony. And that's that. So, but the sex conversation's interesting. Asuelu having, a circumcision, a late in life circumcision was new information, but yeah, so I could talk about sex all day long, but I really only have to like talk about sex. That's why I have to do like late night female only mics. It's the only time I can really just like let loose, and feel like this won't haunt me for the rest of my life. But okay. Let's talk about 90 Day and Toe. I have to like literally look through my notes because there's so many people. Oh, my manager Jenny called me. Well, let's face it, babes. It's not to tell me like, that you booked a big sitcom, honey. Unless the strike is over in real time. You would have to tell me, by the way, if in real time the SAG strike came over while I was live with you guys, because honey, I would not know. You guys remember when we were all together when RBG died? Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and I found out in real time. Okay, I just looked up. There's still no end in sight to the Hollywood strikes. Okay. It's Pavlov's dogs. Is even though my manager is my friend Jenny, sometimes when she calls me, other than a text, I have this like immediate thought that it's great news. It's the same thing as like I'm always incredibly positive about my career, and then whatever happens. There was no Brandon and Mary recently, but Mary is absolutely insane, and I feel like she just she happens to have panic attacks and waterworks and or asthma attacks whenever she is forced to be in real time and in a real place with Brandon, and it's making me feel bad for him. Okay, so Holly and Wayne. Oh, Holly and Wayne, honey. I mean, they look like sim characters to me. I love them. I like watching them. Like I'm happy that they're a couple on. Like I want to see more of them. She's so interesting. He's so interesting. Like she's a little bananas but it's like perfect amount, because I don't hate anyone, but it's interesting. It's like I want the best for this person. I recognize that she, like has done no wrong, and I want her to be happy. Like I want everyone to be happy, but she's so like specifically like baffling and who she is. I think that I can't tell who she is as a person. Wayne, I mean, feels like a one-dimensional character. Like maybe it's because Wah told me he looked like a cartoon character early on, and his like thickness of his jaw and his like accent and how much he feels like he is playing at wanting a relationship with someone who he doesn't know and isn't right for him, but realizes that he like has fucked up in such a way by not like, securing the bag, literally by having a bag. Half of me wonders if like what this is like without the cameras. Because with the cameras, their relationship feels very like like a days ago. Like there's no chem. I don't see like fun or flirtiness. She like has cried so much, and everything has been such a downer, like with their energy. I definitely don't feel a fun sexual chem at all. Where obviously like David and Sheila have a fun sexual chem, like Fun's a relative word. 90 Day Terminator. I nearly spit out my coffee when she asked him if he's giving her a ring. She is the one that can't read the room. Are you talking about Amanda? Okay, you want to talk about Amanda. So Amanda and Razvan. So yeah, this is unbelievable. I mean, it is believable. Okay. It's unbelievable we get to watch it, and it's great that we get to watch it. I have loved it for this reason and the entirety of which is this. To me, she has always been the epitome of a completely uninteresting, horrible personality girl that lives, and I can't quite tell, in either just like, as a very sheltered, small existence of like not having to have emotional intelligence, or if she is manipulative and hyper and aware of it. I can't quite tell. But she presents as this like very demure, kind of like, smaller bone damsel in distress. She looks very young. She's had 2 kids. There's been a death. Early on, like we kind of were suspect that she was going off right away, and she had these 2 kids and she hasn't really like had time to grieve. And the dead daddy box was kind of like whatever, but like you don't want to yuck someone's yum. And I've never been through this. And so we see her and the TikTok star. Look, I don't understand that either, but maybe I'm a little older than her. I try to give her all of that. It's when she started really talking about like, and I have a thing where we all know the 90 Day stuff where people start talking about their kids in relationship to this new person. And you can tell that they start creating a story with this person in relationship to their kids that is not real. Like, well, I think that, like I'm going to have to go and see if he can be a really great daddy. I think he can be a really great daddy for the kids. And then you cut to the guy and he's like, I just want to kind of like be friends with them. It's just like, oh, this person hadn't done her due diligence. So when she gets there, then we get really into the negative Nancy Amanda, that everything is like negative and everything is a pouty. She hates everything. And that's what I started to like kind of gleefully love it, because I think that guys like her type, right? Like guys like her type. It's kind of like a Captain Save-A-Ho or something. But and maybe I'm like jealous of the fact that she's so slight and like bird boned. I will give you this, but her personality is so insufferable that it does make me smirk just for us all to watch someone be horrible to someone. And the way that she looks and acts made him not realize it. But at the same time, as much as I'm starting to hate her, I do start to like Razvan. So then what we see is this couple, him trying to make it work. She's horrible. They get in a big fight where she's mean to him, tells him that he's not for her, isn't good enough to her. He's like, fuck, fine, bitch. Like, you said you were going to support me, and now you've been really shitty. And she makes a decision out of desperation or narcissism to go full throttle, not just be like, you know what? I'm so glad this happened. I'm so sorry I didn't treat you respectfully, but this is what had to happen for us to realize that it's not for this. And I got to go home to these kids. And, like you want to be a famous actor, and I get it. Like, and it's like, but God, thank you so much for opening my heart again. Like that could have been it. But what she does is starts to love bomb him and starts to like be like, don't leave me, and I'm glad we had this talk, and I need your parents to like me, and I'm gonna like be like, I fuck me, and we're gonna fuck 4 times, and like where you're like, oh, she's crazy. Now, all of this would give us panic as we start to also be like, but Razvan's not bad. In fact, he's kind of great, except for we know that Razvan and his mom sees it, sniffs it, sees it, and I think that this is a great journey, isn't it? What a great arc. Also, it feels real. Like, and I really have to hand it to the producers because other things don't feel as real. You know what I'm saying? Don't feel as real. Like, let's cut to Violet and Riley. I'm not gonna say it doesn't feel real. Like whatever's been, it's been kind of weird where it's like he's been. I mean, why would she want to be with him the entire time? Because she doesn't need him, and he like like has really just been the whiniest baby the entire time, and has like degraded her and not protected her. And for some reason, she decides to go out with him again when she should have never. But then he decides to tell her that he loves her, and he wants to like pick up where they left off, and she is like KIT, which is what I said on the Docu Sweetest podcast because I think it's so funny. KI, keep in touch. We'll keep in touch. I loved it. Now, what happens next week? Could that be real? And what that is the turn of turns and really great. So I would say this. What I'm about to talk about is what happens next week. You would only know if you'd watched last night. Last night? Last night. Yes. I get the couples confused whether we're, no, I think it was, baby, I don't know if it was Toe or Not Before the 90 Days. It's confusing to me, those two ones. You would only know of what I'm about to say if you had watched what's going to happen next week. So it's a spoiler, but here we are. Supposedly, Violet then calls him after that, KIT, and be like, looks like I actually do have to keep in touch because we made a baby, which means that she allowed him into what? Her vagina. And I mean, hopefully she can like give Sheila some notes. Right. I need to know too. Like, I have to assume it happened when he was wearing the traditional garb and when he looked good. Like, they must have boned. I feel like they boned after the temple, before dinner. Like, remember they went to the beautiful Buddhist temple. She's wearing the pink Chun-Li outfit, kind of Chun-Li with the slit on the thigh, which I love so much, which is why I'm calling it Chun-Li, and I'm not making a basic basic Asian thing. It's like that kind of like thigh grazing kind of thing. And he's wearing the thing that he ordered. Maybe then. Maybe they were just like, we're gonna go back to the hotel, we'll like shower and get ready for dinner. Yeah. And the producer's like, yeah. Here, get back in the car, and then you guys go do that. And like, yeah. Because the other time is that they did it after he went to her parents' house and gave all the gifts, but not the gift to her mom. But she was like, "Oh, I guess you gave gifts to my kid, like, then I'll." But then she was gonna be like, "If you want that to happen again, you have to also give one to my mom." I don't know. Every date they ended up in arguments. I know. She's too smart to accidentally get pregnant. I'm not trusting her. I know. What? I know, Mickey. I know. I agree. That is true. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I just it's like she's a little bit of a seasoned woman. How the hell do you get pregnant one and done? Like Danielle and is like, please, come on. I got cunning vibes. Ooh, instead of coming home with a souvenir, left a souvenir. But he doesn't like the funny thing is I guess the funny thing is just I guess I don't know. She asked him how much money he had in his bank account, and he answered. She is very smart. I knew that. I love the first scene of her. The first scene of her scuba duding through Vietnam. Sorry, I'm cracking my back. She look at you in the world. Maybe it's the guy on the phone with no shirt. Whew. You know who would know? her sis at the dress shop. She tells her sis at the dress shop everything. Well, yeah, we'd have. I mean, would be a quick, it'd be a quick understanding. Violet is not a woman who loses. Ugh. Yeah, what makes me love her? Like, what makes me admire her? Or like, there's something about the way she holds herself. And listen, if she really is gonna like actually try and like have a baby by him and like not, and it be like fake or whatever, then I'm not gonna hang my hat on truly admiring her as a person, though I might be like still somewhat impressed. But the way she carries herself makes me happier than most other people on the show. The way they carry themselves. Okay. Shit. Cleo and Christian, that can't happen anymore. I mean, that's got to end. Julio and Kirsten, I mean, are they even on the show anymore? Kenny and Armando, I can't even talk about. So, I mean, I have to tell you, TJ and Brittany is where it's at. TJ and Brittany is where it's at. I've been talking about this. This was a great episode. So obviously, since last week, we had a chunk of them where she leaves to go to the hotel, which was going to always happen. And then that poor brother, like, tries to attempt to make peace and she doesn't. And I think in that moment, when she's like, don't touch me again, I think because, TJ wasn't there for the initial scuffle. All he had was a screaming brother and then a mom and then a her who was somewhat silent. I wondered, though, in that moment when she refused to again give him any sort of like openness, the brother, I wonder if he then realized that she isn't it. Of course, her family comes and it's more victim-y, like, I can't even tell them. I don't even know. It's just, yeah, like, she's in some ways as, disagreeable, if you will, like, or unagreeable, if you will, me like a Jane Austen-esque word, as an Amanda, where both people give me pause. And I think they have their own, like, agendas. I think they go about it in such a way differently. And I don't know how they would. I think they both would not like each other, but they're both very similar and they both just use different tactics. Another Riley coming this world. Oh, Retired Pro Juggler, you're here. Hi, Chris. Been following you in Wall Doggy Squeeze. I'm so glad you're back on YouTube. Thank you so much. And I got your message, and I know that you like watching me on YouTube, but I appreciate you also listening too. And I'm back. Thank you so much for coming and listening to me even talk at all. Hi, Marsha. Oh, I love that. You know that sweetheart neckline. Test cost a few Benjamins better than a lifetime of child support. Oh, for sure. And listen. The other thing about it is also this. He already has been talking about the detective. He already has been talking about the PI. That sister friend is like, I mean, there's not going to be a person in hell that's not going to make him get it tested, get the baby tested. I don't know, get something tested. But anyway, TJ and Brittany, yeah. Mostly I'm just with the TJ and Brittany thing and wait, not Brittany. I keep writing Brittany, but it's Kimberly. I'm so sorry. This is something I did last time. Kimberly. Okay. Kimberly. With the TJ and Kimberly thing, what's sad is the following things. He's so far lovely and sweet and trying his best and very handsome and very lovely and tall. His whole family and him are throwing a gorgeous, beautiful, colorful Indian wedding for someone who could not appreciate it less. And that to me is sad and like discouraging to watch and makes me makes me hate her more, Anyway, that's just how that is, Uh, like it's mostly disheartening. I think is the word I want to say. Makes me feel bad. Gino and Jasmine, had they been so fake this season, I also like that's like why like the Amanda and Razvan thing, like how do you is it that you're like, look, we need real people, we need subtle people, we need new people, but we're gonna have Gino and Jasmine back, and we know that they're gonna put on the craziest, we're gonna like produce the craziest fucking shit show. So is it that they just try and pair it? Because it's like I almost like can't even really talk about Gino and Jasmine. I don't care about them. It's too fake. And also she's a crazy, like abusive screaming person, and he's a weebly wobbly, like patch of hair back there that looks like it's a skin infection. Like I don't get them, and they're not they make me like disgusted to watch them. It's yeah, Jasmine is awful. Like, I think it's the thing where it's like but people don't like watching Angela. And Angela, if she wasn't racist and abusive, you could at least also be like, at least Angela at some point laughs and like has fun with people. Jasmine has absolutely no charm to her at all. It's all about like weird, obvious sex or her trying to like get money and just like, whether she looks like a bull up doll one day or whether those lips, I mean, everything is just whatever. There's no part of it that like makes me want to watch it. I can't, and it's like, there's gotta be a saving quality. I don't have it with them. So I'm not gonna talk about them. Is that okay? I mean, I just don't care. Yeah, David and Sheila. My God. I know we talked right like first of all, David, yeah. So David and Sheila, Riley and Violet, much better people. I don't think we're gonna see any more Tyree. So I also really like the fact that Riley and Violet and David and Sheila are together on the same show so that they will be at the tell all together. Like it would fill me with glee to see like okay, I want Violet and Sheila to be friends, and I want Kimberly and Amanda to hate each other and go at it. And that would make me very happy. Like that to me would be an obvious win of a tell all. I feel like I want Kimberly to think that she can go in on Amanda and be like some sort of like clairvoyant queen bee where she feels like her opinion matters and is like better than other people's opinion, and she's going to throw stones and glass houses at Amanda, and I want Amanda to somehow like get an undercut in at her, and then I want Sheila and Violet to be best friends, and specifically Sheila needs some help. She's and I know that Violet has some strength there, you know. Okay, so I can't wait for you to talk about what you okay. Now I'm going to bring up some things. Jasmine and Gizmo, I just can't. Yes, as mother of boys, DNA tests were my budget always. Come on, Lisa. Come through, fucking Lisa. I mean, god damn. Oh, I love it so much. Yeah, I just love it so much. Yeah, Jasmine shopping at Walmart might be fun. I mean, were they at the Walmart or were they at the Target? Toxic as fuck character is Jasmine. Angela, Ed really turn off to a viewer, but love to hate them. I'm a horrible person. I love that you love to hate them. I on the whatever the little clip that's on the reels right now for the Pink Shade podcast. If you listen to those podcasts, so Pink Shade, me on Docu Sweeties, Anwa on Docu Sweeties, and the Reality Gaze live watched. I think I already said this episode 3 of Last Resort, and I has been a drunk on my mind and was just like, I really want at least them to give us a thing where Ed and Angela get together. I think it'd be at least like if you're going to make us do this and make it good. So I would love them to actually get together. Okay. He is used to paying for women. He left money on the best side table, just like a whore. I talked about this also on Docu Sweeties. So, but yes, he absolutely did. The way that it was delivered. I mean, the way that I just like, I've never been in a place of having a man pay for me sexually for sex work. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. I love whores. I would absolutely like mildly role play in a committed relationship with someone who would like be like, I would absolutely be like, hey, when we're done having sex tonight, can you just like give me some money? Like I really would. Okay. Cause like that actually is crazy, but you can take with that what you will. But I've never seen it. Okay. I just have never seen it. But the specificity, like it was almost in a past life of seeing like the folded individual 20s, like 60 right there, triggered me in a way that I was like, have I been a prostitute this entire time? Like, how do I know that? Like, it was, I looked at that and was like otherworldly. And of course, he then drops that he gave her some money or 1,000 that he transferred. Thank you for the money, you know, whatever. But like in my life, that money on the bedside table, not an envelope, not a hundreds, 20s folded individually, stacked like that. Unbelievable. Telenova. That's what Jasmine thinks she's performing for. I know. Oh, I loved it so much. And I think that, by the way, obviously, I think that literally the shot that they gave us from the editors was like them knowing too. Anyway, my loves, I have to unfortunately peace out, and I'm a little slower than I would like to give you more time. I ran out of time because it's been super long for my Wi-Fi, but I love you guys so much, and I'm so thankful that you're spending a little like lunch hour with me. I just like, I'm giving you my own life is like right now, I technically have jury duty. And by technically, I have jury duty. And so, like, but what that means is I just have to keep calling the night before to see if I have it or not. And so, like, today is a Tuesday and I started Monday. So I haven't not had to go in twice. But, you never know. So, yeah. So today, I'm so happy to be with you guys. I'm going to go see some beautiful music tonight and see some art today. I'm excited. So if you want to, I'll be posting on my stories, my Instagram stories about that. You're always welcome to follow me if you'd like at Chris L. Farah. But I just am happy to talk to you and like hear you guys, your comments and spend this hour with you. This is lovely. So next week, can I do this next week? Yes. Yeah. So let's do this next week. Okay. I like this 1:00 time, like I feel like this works for people too. So I was a little slow to post that it was going to happen again, but will you put it in your iCalendars, in your Google Cals? All right, my loves. We're going to take our little breaths and we're going to, like have the best weeks. And we're going to try and put our best out there. We're going to try and be classy people. We're going to try and be elegant, warm, mindful people. And then sometimes we are our own vulnerable base selves as well, I guess. All right. Breath time. Feels good. All right, my loves, take care of yourselves and one another and stand up for what you believe and make art. Okay. Know that art can literally just be like the dinner you're going to make because it happens with a little bit of love and a little bit of like yourself and a little bit of your spirit. So just, you do you. Bye.